I don't know if you've noticed, but we are living in very stressful times. And so I thought this morning I would just share with you some of the things that I have learned about living a less stressful life. We're all going to have stress, but obviously it's how we deal with it that makes the difference. So I'm going to give you 6 tips for a less stressful life. The first one is if you find yourself stressing out, take a break. That's what I do. Sometimes I'm just watching TV or listening to a podcast or something, and I'm all of a sudden just find myself so stressed. And one of the things that I will sometimes do is turn on the TV and watch a game show, a competitive kind of game show where uh, uh, it just seems like it's just so much fun, and kind of feel like you're with a group of people that are also competing in the game, and you get so much satisfaction when you know the answer, maybe before they do. But that's a really good stress reliever. Another thing that I like to do is if I find myself interested in something, I like to go on YouTube and watch tutorials. And learning something new always stimulates my brain, and I know that it can delay dementia. And at 75, I certainly worry about that to some extent. But sometimes just walking away from a problem or a concern that you have that's worrisome to you, it's better just to walk away, take a break, and come back to it a later time, or maybe even the next day, and you feel better about it. And really, they say what a difference a day makes, and that's really true. The second thing is maybe if you're feeling stressed, invest more time in things that you enjoy doing instead of just stewing over it. You know how we just sit and we just get mad and we get sad, and sometimes we just need to get away from that. And so I like to either work crossword puzzles or jigsaw puzzles or something like that that really takes a lot of concentration. They have some great word games online. And so crossword puzzles, I love those. And so sometimes we need to remind ourselves to take more time to just relax and enjoy life, and especially if there's nothing that we can do about it. Isn't that true? One thing that used to stress me out quite a bit is if I had a large task to do, um, some big project to do, then I would wear myself out so bad, and I would stress over getting it done and how I'm going to find the time to get it done. And so what I learned to do is to actually break big jobs into small pieces. Maybe do part of it one day. You can make a lot of difference and a lot of progress by simply taking an hour a day and work on something that needs to be done instead of stressing yourself out about how to do it, or being so overwhelmed and tired that you just don't feel like doing it anymore, for sure. Another thing that my husband and I spent some time on is getting things that we no longer need or want. We have a good sized storage room in our basement, and we had a lot of things that, we've been together 39 years, and you accumulate a lot of stuff, and that just kind of weighed on me. We would need something, and I would be going through box after box trying to find it, and other times I'd just be moving one box to a different location so that I could find something. And so we started camping in Texas 4 years ago. So we decided that we would tackle the storage room. And so we put ourselves in a position where we started sorting through all the boxes and labeling boxes. And I had a couple of garage sales, and I donated to St. Vincent de Paul. there's just things that don't fit our lifestyle anymore, things that we don't use, things that we don't wear. Oh my goodness, when I went through my clothes that I had in storage, I can't imagine wearing them anymore, but you can bet that they've been sitting in our storage room for a good amount of time. So maybe think about getting rid of things and downsizing so that you're not. I know for me, I don't know how many times my husband and I said, well, we really need to get to the storage room and get busy on that, and then we'd put it off. And so it did kind of weigh me down. So another thing that is real relevant to me at the age of 75 is it's very important that you pay attention to your body. If there's something going on with your body, I think sometimes it's easy to ignore it or just put it off or say, well, I should go to the doctor, but I'll just wait. And that just makes the situation so much worse. I know from friends that have been through very serious illnesses that the earlier that you can have it checked out, the better results you're going to get in either taking care of the problem or treating the problem. But don't ignore your body. Have your annual physical. If you're a female, have your mammogram. Have your doctor check out your prescriptions to see if maybe you need to be put on some medication as preventative medicine. But don't ignore your body. It's just not going to go well for you. Another thing that I learned in the past few years is avoiding toxic people or people that depress me. To be honest, I talk to people that after I've had a conversation with them, I'm depressed because they have just gone on and on about everything negative in their life. Instead, what I do now is I very much limit the amount of time I spend with those people on the phone or in person. And I gravitate to people that have the same lifestyle I have, that have the same characteristics that I have, people that are positive, people that are upbeat, people that are happy, people that are active. I mean, there's nothing worse than you can do for yourself and that make you stressful than being around people that just kind of intrude on your life and make you unhappy right along with them. So that was a big lesson for me, is just to maybe avoid toxic people or people that didn't respect my time or that type of thing. It's just not worth it. It may be somebody you've had in your life the whole time, but at some point you have to let them go just so that you can have a happier life. Another thing that I see in older people is sometimes they start isolating themselves in their home. They lose the motivation to go outside and do things. And that can be very harmful. It can even shorten your life because you get very lethargic, you get very sad, and you dwell on things. And so I want to encourage people to join a club, join a charity organization, do something that makes you feel better about yourself and get you out into the public. And if there's people you haven't seen for a while, give them a call, have a conversation, say, let's get together for coffee, or let's go someplace and do something fun. So don't isolate yourself and build a wall to where you're just lonely and sad, because that definitely will shorten your life. And that's the last thing that we want to do. So I think my purpose is, I think that we need to make the most of every day, and we need to live very deliberately. We need to have a plan. We need to have a focus. We need to make time to do the things that make us happy, things that make us more productive, things that make us feel well. So focusing on a balanced and fulfilling life should be a priority. So I hope you find value in the information for today, because the lessons that I learned being 75 years old, and if it helps you, then it'll save you from making the same mistakes that I've made. So for today, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care.